We've been fighting feeling when it's obvious that we both care. So take me to the moon. I wanna be with the stars. Send me into orbit. Oh, send me into orbit.
Hey y'all, hey. I am Galaxy Venus, and you are tuned in to the Eccentric Sensual podcast. This is episode 2. Welcome. I am so glad you guys are here. I appreciate you so much. We have a wonderful topic tonight. I am a love goddess. So we are going to talk about love a lot here. We're going to talk about a lot of sensual things here because sensuality and love goes hand in hand. Um, so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. I am a sensualist, a sensual energist, um, an all round erotic being. I am a pleasure advocate, a pleasure dom, um, a sensual coach, and an erotic spoken word performer. That is a lot, isn't it? Oh my gosh. She's so multi-faceted. Yes, she is. Tonight's topic came from a conversation that I was having with a homegirl. And we were talking about not necessarily self love, but it can be categorized as self love, but switched over to putting it a different way, loving yourself. Last week we dealt with relationships. What is a relationship? What is a healthy relationship? How do you maintain a healthy relationship? And how do you find a partner that is compatible for you? So if you guys want to look up that episode, watch, let me know your comments and your thoughts. Feel free to give me topics about things that concern you or interest you that you would like for me to talk about, no matter what it is, because I'm an eccentric being, so I could talk about a plethora of things. But in dealing with loving yourself, the first thing I want to say is most people don't know whether they love themselves or not. I can remember at a time in my life where my inner self, my spirit spoke to me and said, "Do you love yourself?" And just like most people, our natural response is going to be, of course. Because what's the opposite of love? Hate. We don't hate ourselves. A lot of us don't even know what loathing is. So we're not going to say, I loathe myself or I find myself despicable. You know, we all think we good people for the most part. And so thinking that we love ourselves, and I follow me now, thinking that we love ourselves come natural. But during this conversation with my homegirl, I asked her, does she love herself? And if she does, how does she know? At the time when my spirit asked me, do I love myself? Most of the time, people ask questions because they already know the answer to them and they want you to discover what they already see. So my inner self was like, baby girl, you this ain't it. And I had to realize that I did not love myself because I was not taking care of myself. Now there is a difference between self-care and self-love. We can take care of ourselves without loving ourselves. Some things that are self-care is taking ourselves out on dates. and this goes for men and women, just doing things that we enjoy, that is going to make us happy, fulfill us in some kind of way, clear our mind if we frustrated, or if we just want to get out and have a good time. Um, a lot of women in particular, and I have to, speak for women, but women or on behalf of women because I'm a woman. A self care thing is maybe getting a facial, getting a manicure or pedicure. When we get our hair done, sometimes taking a bubble bath with some candles and some music playing. Oh my gosh, that is some lovely self care. Do you hear me? Me and y'all can take bubble baths too. It's okay to get in the tub and soak. Like, it'll make you feel real, like real smooth. I promise. But those are things that can be categorized as self care and not necessarily self love. And I say that because just because we care, because we have to keep in mind that there are levels of affection. And the more we do, indeed, that's the deeper the level of love goes. So we can go get our hair done. We can get as many manicures and pedicures as we desire. We can take as many bubble baths as we desire. We can go to the movies, go listen to some jazz, like anything that we feel like is going to make us happy can be self care. But when it comes to self love specifically, we are taking care of outside, exterior things with the self care. With self love, it has to be interior. We have to go within for self love. Self care is exterior, self love or loving yourself is internal. It comes from the inside without. And in my conversation with this young lady, I asked her, does she love herself? And she said yes. And I asked her, how does she know? And she paused. We were talking about some personal things. And I was like, if you loved yourself, then how can this be happening? Because this is a form of abuse. And then she kind of thought and she was like, well, wow, you're right. She discovered that she cared about herself, but it's a hard pill to swallow when you realize you are not loving yourself properly. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you hate yourself, because last week, I think it was last week, we talked about when we know better, we do better. And sometimes we just don't know any better to do better. So realization is a very important thing in how we maneuver through life, how we grow in life. A word that I love to use, how we elevate. And growth and elevation is the same thing. A lot of times, growth can be wide or it can be tall, but elevation is more like an internal thing, spiritually speaking. Some ways that you can tell that you are loving yourself is when, or if we realize that there is a problem. Let's just say, give an example that, what is a good example? I'm trying to think fast here. Coming from a woman's perspective, an issue that women go through a lot is, I guess we're going to talk about relationships a little bit more. Choosing the wrong partners. and we are with someone. A lot of people have discovered over the past couple of years how narcissistic behavior works and how detrimental that is to someone's psychological and mental state of mind. So let's just say we are dealing with um, feelings of inadequacy, whether it's due to trauma, we're choosing the wrong partners, things of that nature. And we know that this is an issue, but we continue to stay in that relationship that is not healthy for us and not conducive to our growth as a woman nor a human being. That to me is a lack of self love. A lot of women, we believe that when we stay, and I don't want to just narrow that down to women, people in general will stay in a relationship due to, I want to be loyal. I want to show them that I love them. And so you're trying to prove to this person how down you are, so to speak, or, how you got their back, how much of a rider you are. And while you're doing all of that for them, if they are not appreciative and that love is not reciprocated, you're loving them, but what are you doing to yourself? That is one of the things I categorize as abuse. And it is a lack of self love because no one, absolutely no one outside of adolescent children should come before your own self. A lot of us have taught, and I'm not going to say why in this broadcasting because that is such a deep subject right there, but we are going to go into how religion molds us to think a certain way and operate a certain way that I don't necessarily feel is healthy, and I totally disagree with it. We'll save that for another time. But we have been taught and programmed to be selfless, to put ourselves last, to put other people before us, and all of that is pretty much one and the same. But there's a time for everything. And for me personally, I don't know if I'll just stick with it's a time for everything. I don't believe on every occasion you should always put someone above yourself. If we are or if we have connected with someone, whether it's romantic or not, and this person has not seen our true nature, our true desire, when we have been clear, not just about what our intentions are, but we have shown there is evidence that I love you. I'm here for you. You can count on me. I have your best interest at heart. If we have made that clear with our actions, indeed, not just with our tongue, but your actions have shown that, and you are still trying to prove yourself, not being judgmental, but you are a little insane, beloved. I give tough love. I'm known for that. But it's a little insane to keep trying to prove something that the evidence is there. It's just like, let's say you are a student or a person that gets straight A's. If you are an adolescent child, you get straight A's. You're very knowledgeable about a lot of things. Any question that somebody asks you, you can answer the question just like that. You're straight A's. And the fact that, you are so knowledgeable about so many different things that anything that somebody asks you, you can answer. The proof is in the pudding, so to speak. So why do you have to prove, or should you have to prove that you're smart? You know, my air quotes is quoting today. So I said that to say, when the proof is laid down, it's been set on the table in black and white, and you can see it plain as day, there's nothing to prove anymore. It's evident. And when something is evident and you're study trying to prove what is evident, y'all feel where I'm coming from? That's a little crazy. I'm just saying. And with that being the case, it becomes a matter of a lack of self-love, trying to prove to somebody or show them that you love them when you've been doing it the whole time anyway. So that's what I'll say about that. Another way to know that you may not be loving yourself properly is people pleasing. That is a big thing. When you are doing everything to make everybody else happy, if it is draining and exhausting to you, that is a sign that you are not loving yourself properly. And again, I will state, it doesn't mean that you hate yourself, but to not love yourself properly is a lack of self-love. One way to know that you are loving yourself properly is when you feel fulfilled. I'm going to think about that one. I'm not taking it back yet, but let me chew on that a little bit more. Because you know what? I'm not going to take it back. There is a certain fulfillment that comes when you are self-aware, when you are aware of who you are, when you like who you are, when you accept who you are, and when you absolutely love who you are. Even when you have things that you know you still need to work on, but you're okay with who you are overall. There's this fulfillment that comes like, I'm okay, I'm good. No matter how many flaws I have, I'm still incredibly crafted. A lot of people like to use the statement, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I agree with that statement. But to be fearfully doesn't mean scary. Fearfully made is like, it's a mastery. You have to know that you are perfectly designed exactly the way that you are. And then we just elevate and align with being the best version of ourselves that we can be in that mastery craft. Does that make sense? Somebody feeling me out there? Appreciate y'all. So yeah, it's a fine line between I have affection for myself and I love myself. Let me see if I can think of another example. A lack of self-love is not showing yourself grace for the things that you feel like you need to work on. When you're just downing yourself all the time and beating yourself up, that's not self-love. We can be honest about what we need to work on, where we done fucked up at, but to constantly beat ourselves down. What's the word that I'm looking for? Low self-esteem is a lack of self-love. If you are not esteeming yourself on a high level, then you are not loving yourself properly, because love doesn't demean. It doesn't degrade. It uplifts. It encourages. It motivates. Yeah, like I'm gonna let that sink in for a while because that just kind of hit me, and I think somebody really needs to just like breathe that in. Love does not degrade. It does not put down. Um, it doesn't insult. It's not insulting. Love is encouraging. It's blissful. It's motivating and it's uplifting. Think about for parents that have children, and if you don't have children, I will do my best to find an example for people that don't have children. But for the parents, we love our children, right? When our child has a problem, when our children or a child, not just our child, but the love, care, and concern that we have for children in general can be used as an example also. If there is a child that has a problem or is struggling with something, how do we deal with that child? Let's think about that for a moment. Are we gentle with that child? Or are we aggressive for the most part? Because I know sometimes, we get a little rough and we got to do that tough love. But to know that somebody truly is struggling with something inwardly, most of the time, if you are a mature person that has insight and wisdom, you are not going to meet that child with aggression or meet them with anger, with frustration. You are the calm to their raging storm. If they're feeling like this, you overshadow it with that. And what is the that? We overshadow it and we pour over it compassion. We pour over that patience. We pour over that encouragement. We pour over that understanding. So if we are not doing the same thing for ourselves, we are not loving ourselves or caring for ourselves properly. You feel me? I'm just saying. We have to remember and keep in mind that even though we are adults, we are little people that have grown up, literally and metaphorically speaking. I got jokes. I'm a little bit of a comedian. Ha ha. But yeah, think about that. Like when we truly care about somebody or when we really want somebody to see how beautiful they are or how special they are, how gifted they are, or whatever the case may be, how we directly deal with speaking to them and pouring into them. We have to do those same things for ourselves. That's just bottom line. Like for real, for real. There's no different or no difference. I think about the saying that says, we are our own worst critic and we are our own worst enemy. And that is so true. A lot of times, I'm not gonna even say sometimes. A lot of times, because we have this idea of what we want to do, how we want to do it, what we want to be, and a lot of times a time frame that we want to have it done by, according to society's program that's Not going to get into that right now either. But because of so many different factors, we put this pressure on ourselves. But I often try to take myself away from that. And I think about, if I existed in this construct, and I say it that way for a reason, but if I existed in this construct all by myself, how much more grace would I give myself? As far as what I wanted to accomplish, who I am, um, how I feel like I'm maneuvering and growing as a being. If there was nothing to compare it to, and I'm just freely and passionately, lovingly and caringly abiding through life, how much more easygoing would I be on myself? Let's think about that. Quiet all of the noise and close your eyes to everything around you in the world with no distractions. And if we could just live, like truly live peacefully and in harmony, what would that look like for us? And when we keep that in mind and deal with ourselves that way, that's self-love right there. It don't get no better than that. Oh my gosh, I can just feel the love radiating through my heart chakra right now. Oh my gosh. I gotta be funny and say, when we talk about some kinky stuff and all of that, y'all gonna be like, she is a very interested person, that she can talk about love and relationships and spirituality. And then in another week, talk about, look, y'all know that stand for banging, right? Okay, off subject. My mind be going different places. I just had to say, because I am a very interesting person. I ain't gonna show my, well, no, I am gonna show my kookiness, because I am who I am, and I love who I am, and I am free to be me, and that is okay with me. Is that okay with you? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was just something that came to my mind. But I can truly feel the self-love, and that just being imminent, like just radiating, like how freeing that is to live in harmony like that. And I can only hope and wish that you want that for yourself as well. Because a lot of us, we need more self-love. We need more grace. We need more compassion. We need more understanding. We need the freedom of just loving ourselves in totality. Think about that. To love yourself in totality and walk in the freedom thereof. Do you know that is intimidating to a lot of people? We are judged so much when we truly love ourselves, because when you love yourself, you're not afraid to be exactly who you are, no matter what it looks like to anybody else. Look, when I tell y'all, Galaxy Venus got some ways about her that'll make you say, on one side of the spectrum and another side of the spectrum. I kid you not. But I love who I am. I also have come to realize that that makes people very uncomfortable. And I'll tell you what, when I did not love myself properly, there was a different response I got from people around me. Personally speaking, I've been talked about all of my life, like literally all of my life. Everybody always got something to say, no matter what, which is the reason why I am so elated to have the freedom to abide as I am and love while I love myself properly. Because people are going to talk regardless. Everybody is not going to like, agree, or think you should be doing, saying, living, abiding the way that you do. But people like to define people and want to shape them and mold them and have them be a way that makes them comfortable, not you. They want to be comfortable. And if somebody has or displays a desire to conform you or contain you or shrink you and make you smaller to make them feel more comfortable, that is only because they are uncomfortable with who they are. And if I am not comfortable with who I am and I am not willing to admit that and deal with that, then I'm going to want you to be a certain kind of way also. Y'all feel where I'm coming from? And so when we live in the freedom of who we are and we are completely loving ourselves properly, oh my gosh, that's when the mouths really start talking. And it's a different kind of talk. It's the talk that has the tone like who she thinks she is. It's a different kind of laugh and snicker behind your back. Like the other snickers may be because, you know, because you don't love yourself. And they snicker because secretly they like that. Because they may not love themselves either. If they did, they would reflect that onto you. Because a lot of times the people that we are around are a mirror. It's a reflection of something that we need to see and pay attention to, not necessarily a reflection of us. But if you think about a mirror, a piece of glass, even if you're not holding it up to your face, whatever you're showing and whatever direction that mirror is pointing in, it's going to show in that mirror. And that's something that we need to see or pay attention to. I hope y'all caught that. So, loving yourself totally and fully will make people that do not love themselves very uncomfortable. And you definitely have to make sure that you're okay with that, or you will begin to feel guilty about living in your truth and loving yourself. And we should not do that. Regardless of what someone else's issues are, we should still live in our freedom and in our truth. It's such a beautiful and delightful thing. There is nothing more harmonious than being free to be you. My inner self, my self-love is my sanctuary. I sit there, I dwell there, and it is my safe place. Nobody can touch me there. You can't fuck with me when I'm abiding in my self-love. Like for real, for real. Think about that one. You're untouchable in a sense. Because there's so much power in that. And it's empowering. It gives you strength. And it's just overall a beautiful freaking thing. I wanted to cuss so bad. But it's a beautiful freaking thing. I'm trying. Oh, I did not give examples for someone that does not have children. Spirit just reminded me of that. I'm so grateful. So let's see if I can think about someone that doesn't have children, how we show compassion and understanding and love, and how we can direct that towards the way that we should deal with ourselves. Maybe a close friend, or You may not have children, but a parent, if your parents are still alive, or at a time when your parents were still alive. Think about, or your grandmother, or just some adult in your family, if they were struggling, if they came to, or you noticed them crying, even if that didn't come to you, you noticed that somebody was crying and they were feeling sad, the way that you approach them with the gentleness and the compassion. When we are going through things, we should definitely approach ourselves the same way we would approach our mom, our dad, one of our siblings, our aunt, or even a stranger. Let's just say, and I guess it depends on the kind of person that you are. Thank you for being here, Eric. Yes, blessings indeed. Um, Feel free to come up if you would like. We are talking about self love and how we relate to it. What is self love? And are we loving ourselves properly? But a homeless person, if you saw a homeless person crying and they were just feeling really defeated and broken, like, I've been homeless for a while, no matter what the reason or why the reason that they're homeless. I'm out here on the streets and it's just, I'm having a hard day today. What would you say to that homeless person? Now, for the people that are a different kind of straight shooter and straightforward, I would love to hear what y'all say. Like, for people that maybe are a little less compassionate, I would love to have dialogue with that kind of person. But for the people that are like really soft, because some of us are freaking softies, man. And so it is unfair if we're going to be soft and compassionate with other people, but we are not soft and compassionate and patient with ourselves. Don't lack that for yourself and abundantly pour it onto others. That's all I'm saying. Does anybody have anything that they would like to add? Anybody wants to come up, chit chat, all of that good stuff? I see we have a few people, if I'm looking correctly, a few people that have that are actually watching. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. What are your experiences? Or you can type it in the chat also. Either way, what are your experiences with loving yourself? Or have you ever had a moment where you realized you were not loving yourself? And what was that like? Or have you ever had a conversation with someone um, about self-love and whether they were loving themselves and things of that nature? Let's talk about it. Hey there. You're muted. I don't know if you're talking yet. Thank you for joining.
Hello?
You're talking yet.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for joining.
Hello?
You're talking yet.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
I am hearing
Wait a minute, let me check.
there's
Can
a
you still hear me?
delay.
You got a background you got background noise as well, big bro.
There's a delay.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
Let
it's
me.
a big
I'm
delay
You got
also.
a background you got background noise as well, big bro.
There's a delay.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
Let
it's
me.
a big delay
You got
also.
a background
He's probably going to come back, so we're going to give him a few minutes to get everything situated. Big ups and a thank you to Vaughn for always coming through and sharing and chopping it up. This is only episode number 2, but I've been with my engineer for a while, and he definitely has his faithful crew that comes in and show love. It's so wonderful. I appreciate you guys so much. We're gonna keep building. We're gonna share the live. And yeah, we want to grow as a people, as a race, as a community. And as individuals, we want to elevate and be the best that we can possibly be. It is the eccentric, sensual, or is it the sensual eccentric podcast? I don't know which one comes first. It's we sensual and we eccentric, damn it. Like, so there you go. He's back. I can't remember that. They came from a scary movie. That wasn't Freddy, was it? No, that's something that Mommy, they're back. Is that the Poltergeist? Anywho.
Hello?
Hi there.
I think so. Hello? Yeah, can you hear?
Hi there.
Yeah, I think I still gonna have an echo. I think so. Hello? Yeah, can you hear?
Hi there.
Yeah, I think I still gonna have an echo. I think so. Hello? Yeah, can you hear?
Hi there. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Oh my goodness. Oh, that sucks so bad. I wonder what's going on this week. For anybody else that's in the chat, have you ever had a conversation with anybody about self-love to where you had to tell them or insinuate to them that, you know, you may want to go a little deeper because you ain't loving yourself properly? Has there ever been a time in your life when you realized that you wasn't loving yourself properly? How did you handle that? How did you discover that? And what did you do about it? How did you change it? I gave my experience earlier. Oh gosh, how many years ago was this? I have a challenging time differentiating time periods because my storage space and memory is not the greatest right now. I'm working on that for all things to be recalled and recollected in my life. But it was quite a while ago that my spirit had spoke to me and told me that I wasn't loving myself properly. And like most people, I was like, say what? Come again? I do love myself. Of course I do. Like, why wouldn't I? I knew I was dope as fuck. Like, I'm special. I'm awesome. I'm me. Why wouldn't I love me? And Spirit was like, girl, please, with the stuff that you allow in your life, baby, that ain't love at all. Try again. And I was like, okay, let me find out what love is and then work on it. And like I'll probably say this a lot on the podcast: when you know better, you do better. I had to discover better, learn better, and I have done better. Hey, look at me now. Yeah. So most people love what they see about me as far as who I am, and it's very encouraging to them. But it was a long road getting here. And people could not love me properly until I began to love myself properly. Talk about mixed signals. Oh my gosh, there were so many mixed signals coming from people because I was so mixed up myself. It was a hot mess. I kid you not. But that mess has gotten all cleaned up. You know, we still abstract as fuck over here in Galaxy Venus land, but it's a beautiful abstract mess. And it makes sense. If that makes sense. You feel me? Yeah. Boy, Brother Vaughn just can't get it right tonight. What's happening? I hope I have not missed any comments. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Power of my poetry. Oh my gosh. That is a hell of a name. I love it. I would love to talk to you. They said goodnight, so I don't know if they're still here. Power of my poetry. If you are here, I would love to say hi and formally meet you. Chocolate Earth Foundation, what's up, sugars? I have not seen you in a while. It's so good to have you here. Salute to you too, boo. We are talking about self-love this evening. What is self-love? How did you come into self-love? Do you still need to come into self-love? Have you ever had a conversation with somebody about self-love? Because it's like, hey, this 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. Like, let's get our math together. I don't want to say your name wrong. Is that Saint Lady Tammy? Good evening, beloved. Thank you for tuning in. I'm trying to, I'm new to this StreamYard thing, so I'm trying to get to everybody and say hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you guys have anything to add, please feel free to put it in the chat or come up. We are talking about self-love. And I've said just about everything I believe I could say. I'll reiterate one more time for the people that are just tuning in. I appreciate y'all so much. And if nobody wants to come up, we're going to go ahead and end this thing. But some of the things that I mentioned, I talked about the different ways that you can tell if you are not loving yourself properly. I mentioned that not loving yourself properly doesn't mean that you hate yourself. It just means that you have some growth to do in that area. One of the ways that you can know that you are not loving yourself properly is if you are beating down on yourself, because love does not, it does not demean. It encourages and uplifts. I see some comments here. Let's see. I don't know why this looks like this on my screen. Only if you want to, beloved. I don't want to force anybody to come up. But I love dialogue. I love interacting and connecting with people. It is not easy for me to be on screen by myself. But I think I've done pretty doggone good tonight. What are the other things that I mentioned that are signs of not loving yourself properly? Unhealthy relationships and people pleasing. Being unsatisfied and unfulfilled is a sign of a lack of self-love. Some of the ways that we can tell that we are loving ourselves properly is when we are happy, when we are fulfilled, when we are comfortable in our own skin, when we don't care about what other people think, uh, when we don't care about what other people's opinions are, especially people, or maybe specifically, I should say, people that don't have our best interest at heart. That's a very important factor. Um, I mentioned what were some ways to deal with yourself that displays self-love, gentleness, compassion, understanding, and patience. When we are exuding that in our personal lives, we are loving ourselves properly. Um, I gave some examples of the difference between self care and self love, because we can care for ourselves, but not truly love ourselves, because self care is an outward, it's exterior. Um, it's exterior affection and things to make us feel good and things of that nature. But self love is is internal. It comes from the inside out. Uh, Talked about that. Okay, Lighthouse 301 is say they're gonna join. I think I missed some comments. I need somebody to read these comments. And I don't like how this looks on my screen because I can't see everything, and I don't want to mess nothing up because y'all, I'm special like that. I be done touch the wrong thing and mess some stuff all the way up. So I am so sorry if I have missed your comments. If there is
Oh,
something that I've missed, please say it again.
hold on, family. Hold on.
Yes,
Just I
I
gotta
do have
verify.
it.
I gotta verify somebody real quick, and then we're gonna go from there. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
I see somebody asked if I was having a dialogue where people can come up.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Smitty, that's you, bro.
Yeah, that's me.
Bet, bet. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go back down.
Yo, what it do?
Much respect to you. Beautiful year to you.
I appreciate that.
Always.
We have to have beautiful moments, uh, beautiful days, and that equates to a beautiful life in general. So Ashe.
Absolutely. It also helps you recognize when you're not having such a good one too. It's a balance. So what you on? What you talking about? I got a little bit of
You done missed all of that. Have you just got in? Oh my gosh, I've reiterated so many times. We are talking about
nah, no,
self-love.
just pick up where you left off. Okay.
Self-love. Um,
hmm
what is self-love? Are you in a state of loving yourself? Do you have a lack of self-love? Have you ever had a conversation with someone about their lack of self-love? Um, what stage in life were you when you discovered perhaps that you were not loving yourself properly? How did you handle it and how did you change it?
Okay. Am I coming through clear? Is my sound coming through clear? Okay, now I just wanted to make sure. Uh, Self-love. Well, one thing I can start off with is saying that the people that I recognize that do not have that self-love within themselves. You got some noise in your background. If you want to mute, I think you got
I
some
do.
feedback. Yeah, I think so. Just check it. Let me see something. Might check one too. Yeah, it went away. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. Just real quick. All right. So People who lack the self-love within themselves is because they're always looking to find their self-love through other people and exterior motives. I've always said this. In order to have self-love for yourself, you have to first know yourself. You can't love something that you don't have a clue about. You have to have some kind of idea of how it operates and works. That's how you are able to better have self-love. You see where I'm at? And what was that second part that you were asking as well? Or I guess when you get back, I think you're on mute if you're
I
talking.
can hear
There
you.
you go. Oh, okay.
Have you ever had a conversation with someone about their lack of self love? Have you ever discovered at any time in your life that you were not loving yourself properly? How did you handle it? And what did you do to change it?
I handle it very piss poor because it's not easy. Like when you don't love yourself, when you're at that place, I would say I would just speak for myself. It was absolutely gut wrenching. It was a very dark and lonely place. How did I start to learn myself? I had to actually take time and really focus on what am I good at. I know that sounds real basic and cliche. There's no real, dazzle to it, but I had to learn what I'm good at. So once I figured out I'm really good at art, I'm good at writing from spoken word, poetry, music, and everything else, storytelling. Once I harnessed that, it gave me such a boost in who I am. Plus, when I display what my raw talents and gifts are to other people, guess what I get? Positive feedback. So all of those thoughts about me not loving myself, I now have a new profound love for myself because I see the value that I hold. And to land it, I believe that people who don't love themselves is because they lack the vision of the value that they truly possess because they probably never just took the time to tap into it. But I digress. My mic is muted. Respect to you, beloved.
My. Um, is there anything else left to say behind that? I don't think so. Not at all. Um, I had mentioned earlier that the same thing, you can't love something if you don't know about it. It's like there's a deeper appreciation for something that you truly, truly know. Think about people that are into electronics. They love electronics because they know like deeply about electronics and how certain things function and things of that nature. But the point that you brought up about, let me see if I can get it correctly. Wanting fulfillment in other people. Oh my gosh. Just mic drop. That was it in a nutshell. Like hammer on the nail, one hit, boom, bam. It was in there, like straight to it. So execution perfectly. I cannot add anything else to that because it was so beautifully articulated. We have another person that is up here. Let's see. Okay, I ain't got my glasses on. First Lady Tammy 916. Greetings, beloved. How are you? Thank you for joining.
I'm good. How are you?
Speak freely. I am absolutely wonderful. Thank you for joining.
So when it comes to self-love, I kind of think that part of it is seeing people as they are, not who you think they are. And I think it can take a while to get to that point because sometimes you're not necessarily paying attention to what people are actually showing you. And sometimes even isolation can be part of self-love because isolating yourself so you're able to see things clearly is something, and I speak from experience, so I say that. So but also the other is really being able to understand how significant it is to prioritize protecting your peace. And if that means separating yourself from people and letting people understand what your boundaries are, that's what you have to do. Whether it's friend, whether it's family, um, it doesn't necessarily matter who it is. It's a matter of what is in your best interest. And when you explain this to people, if they take it as something other than you advocating for yourself and you practicing self-love, then this is something that doesn't necessarily need to be in your space anyway. So um, for me, those are things that I've had to do in order to protect my space. So yeah, and I wrote a poem specifically about protecting your peace because it was that significant to that extent. So
Would you like to share your poem?
Mr. Best knows I love to read my poetry. So yeah, no, I don't mind. Okay, so the poem is called Peace. So it says, peace, my peace, to be protected by any means necessary. Prioritize essentially above chaos every day. Just the magnitude of the word when heard makes me want to turn from anything absurd that has the ability to disturb my peace. It's just at times my peace has been at a crossroads between the road less traveled and the winding road that leads me to struggle after struggle after struggle. Before my newfound clarity, my peace didn't matter to me because I was more concerned about the peace outside of me instead of the peace within me. And you know what? No one else cared. I mean, no one else was worried that my emotions were getting depleted and my heart wasn't receiving even a tenth of the kindness that I was giving. But the reality was that they weren't supposed to care. I was supposed to care about my peace and make it a priority by making it a front runner rather than being put on the back burner as I prioritize the needs of others. I unintentionally allowed them to sacrifice my peace so their comfortability can be intact while my peace remained cracked. In fact, I was oblivious to the lack that I had that was leaving my peace trapped in limbo. The ability to give of myself left my peace on the back shelf, leaving everything else ahead of the peace I should have saved for myself, and I wasn't paying attention. Because knowing I was the outlier was all I thought I needed to empower me to keep moving forward. I didn't realize my peace was disappearing piece by piece until my peace was just a piece of its former greatness. I didn't see that my peace needed the highest protection, which was my responsibility, not a lack of consideration for what was best for me. My peace was reaching out for me in the midst of the darkness from the overwhelming shadows of the needs and wants that I fulfilled in others. I finally realized protecting my peace should not only be a necessity, but my priority. My peace has to be my priority because to essentially live happily, I can't allow anyone to jeopardize my sanity. And peace is my sanity and serenity. I said, my peace is my sanity and serenity, and not a part of me I'm allowing you to discard haphazardly. I'm protecting my peace like the bank vault protects the money at the bank. I'm protecting my peace like the equalizer protects the innocent. I'm protecting my peace like the Terminator protected John Connor because my peace is the key to my survival and is crucial for my future. When it comes to protection, I'm protecting my peace with relentless efficiency, tactile versatility, utmost priority, and sacrificial clarity because this is a necessity. And protecting my peace might mean discarding this person and that person, these people and those people. I mean, if my peace is in jeopardy, then you're just not the person for me. No matter if you're so-called friend or family, if it's between you and my peace's longevity, I gotta cut you off full stop and immediately because my peace being disrupted is no longer a hill I'm willing to die on, and my peace disintegrating is no longer an option for selection. I choose my peace at all times in all situations. I'm intentional with determination. And if you take my distance as disassociation, it's just my method of ensuring the utmost protection. Because if it's a choice between my peace or others, it's no longer a hard choice when you finally discover that protecting your peace is your only option, when you know the alternatives leave your self respect up for execution. And that is absolutely not allowed to happen. So when I say I'm protecting my peace, no, it's not about you. It's all about me. I mean, they won't protect my peace when it's not their priority. Protecting it at all costs is my responsibility. Not only is it a necessity, it's my top priority.
Ashe, thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
There were so many gems in that that I can relate to self love. I mentioned earlier. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming on. I guess that's going to happen maybe every week now. Um, excuse me. But I mentioned earlier that a sign of a lack of self love is people pleasing. And when you care too much about other people's opinions that don't mean you any good, and how the people around us can be a reflection of the things that we need to see, that it may not necessarily be a reflection of something within us. But if you have a piece of glass or a mirror, whatever you point that glass and that mirror to or at, you're going to see it in the mirror. And the people that are around us, we have to pay attention to how they relate to us. A lot of times I have come to realize that when you truly love yourself, when you are unapologetic about who you are, people around you that do not that have a lack of self-love and that don't love themselves properly, your self-love will make them very uncomfortable. And so when I think about protecting your peace, the same can go for protecting your heart or protecting your self-value. I'm not going to lower myself. You can't contain me or confine me or make me smaller just because you're not comfortable with who you are. I am free to be me no matter what that is. And if my freedom bothers you, then you go somewhere else, because I'm free. Like I don't live in confinement.
I would like to say this to that. You know, when speaking of the inner peace, now I don't know how it works for women, but I'm just speaking as far as me personally as a man. I find so much peace in myself when I'm able to be of servitude, when I'm able to actually like do for others, give. And I don't mean like just be somebody's ATM and pushover. Nah, I'm not nobody's errand boy. But like when I'm able to like be in a position where I'm healthy, I'm good, and I'm reliable to people, it is so much peace that comes with that. I couldn't even begin to explain that to you. So I just wanted to throw that piece in before we got too far off. And the last part I wanted to say was being of servitude for others is is the main focal point of where everything that I have of tranquility comes into play. Believe it or not, I can't explain it, but I don't believe that my peace, my love, everything that I have to offer is to be strictly for myself. I believe that to much whom is given, much is to be demanded of. So, but I keep myself in self-preservation, so I'll never run out for me. But I just wanted to say that. But I digress. My mic is muted. Appreciate it.
What's so important about that is I had also mentioned earlier that one of the ways that we can tell that we aren't loving ourselves properly, and I think I just said this a moment ago also, is when you are people pleasing. But the beautiful thing about what you just said is I also mentioned that if it's not draining you, if it's draining, then it's coming from a lack of self-love. But when there's fulfillment in it, then that's coming from your cup flowing over. You're loving yourself and you have enough to pour to other people, and it's not draining. It's not what's the word I'm looking for? it's not a burden. When it's a burden that's not coming from a healthy place. So it's really cool that you brought up the fact that it's fulfilling, because that's the word that I use, pouring into other people.
I mean, yeah, I also think that's just something personally within myself. You know, me personally within myself, I don't know. Like if I don't have a project to do, if I don't have something to fix or do something for somebody or to assist with or to be a part of, to help, I don't feel right. I'm not talking about every waking moment. Trust me, I love my peaceful to myself lazy days. But overall, you know what I mean? Like I don't like sitting around too long. I got to get moving. And it has to be something that's of benefit. It has to be something I can sit back at the end of the day after I showered up. I got my meal. I'm kicked back. I'm relaxing now, unwinding. I want to look at the ceiling and breathe out deep and say, you accomplished something. That's very important to my peace. My mind goes crazy when I don't have things to do to stay occupied. Absolutely drives me mad.
Do you have any idea why that is?
High voltage.
Say that one more time.
I'm sorry, I'm eating pineapples. High voltage.
Gotcha. I'm glad you said it that way, because I was gonna say busybody. I'm like, I don't want to call him a busybody. Yeah, I didn't want to use that word.
No, I
Chef,
wake up.
go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was getting ready to read
No,
a
you were saying
comment.
something.
I want to make sure that I'm not that I'm not skipping over
To what
comments
I'm
and the
talking
people
about.
that
I
are
don't want to hold the
responding
floor
in
too
the
long.
chat. So, Chef,
Oh yeah, gotta get.
ooh, I do not know how to pronounce that. Ooh, I don't know how to say that wrong. But Chef says,
That'll
if
be
someone can disturb,
Chalpino.
say that one more time.
Chalpino.
Champino.
Chalpino.
Chapino.
Chalpino.
Chow.
Chalpino.
Chow. Okay.
Yeah,
Chef
Chalpino.
Chalpino. Thank you. Thank you.
Chalpino.
Thank you. Thank you. If someone can disturb my peace, then I was never at peace. I was just unchallenged. Whoa, that is a mouthful. Oh gosh. Um, I know what you mean. Um, with that being the case, I I don't know how enlightened one would have to be
hmm
at total peace and undisturbed 100% of the time. Now, me, because I have a mood disorder, there are a lot of things that can get me off balance. So my peace actually kind of gets disturbed more often than I would like. And I deal with bipolar disorder. So that's a mofo for me. But for the most part, in general, I am uh, at a overall baseline at peace, just because I love my life and I love myself. So that in itself comes at a certain level of peace. But do stuff knock me off balance and challenges me, as you say? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually supposed to. The day that you no longer are being challenged is the day you are no longer viewed as God's strongest warriors. You know, I tell people all the time, man, the strongest, the most chosen of us will go through the most heartache, the most hardship. We will be confused. It's going to make us want to give up so much. But only a few of us are able to recognize this is not a curse. This is not a damnation. It's just a test. And our loving creator is sitting back and just saying, let me see what you do with this. Now, mind you, I didn't give you not one extra brick or cinder block that you cannot carry. So, as heavy as it may feel, I know that you can make it to there because I built you, I created you, I designed you before you were a twinkle in your parents' eyes. So, I know what you can handle. But I ain't going to get to preaching, though. I digress. My mic is muted.
You sure enough said a mouthful right there. I can truly think of the times where things were so heavy for me. I really thought I was going to break. I was breaking, and I did break, but I was remolded and I was shaped, you know, different elevation, my growth. So I've died a lot of spiritual deaths. But it was because what you just said and what I mentioned, I also mentioned this earlier, knowing that I am masterfully crafted, as some people say spiritual, not that, that's not the word that they use, fearfully and wonderfully made, perfectly and masterfully crafted, that even though I did not know I was able to not just carry it, but to make it through it. And so I had to be shown through those trials and tribulations who I really am, because I didn't know I was that strong. I always thought I was a weak something. I was a pitiful little thing. It was not pretty. It wasn't pretty at all.
Yeah, trust me. The strongest of us are supposed to go through that. You're actually supposed. It is a part of your life's journey to have those days in that moment in time where you're like, "F me and F this world. I don't care. I give up. I don't know why I'm here. Look, it ain't no way you love me and you got me going through all this, Lord." You're supposed to have those moments. That's why my favorite character in the word, not to get too deep, is Job. We call him Ayub, but Job. It's because people don't realize, as much as he's had faith, he also questioned God. He also said, God, why are you doing this? But then that's when I come to my old conclusion I've always said, and you might have heard me say this before, Ashay. Um, it's it's not about questioning God, it's about asking God questions. Just like how I told you with my accident, I had to lose a body part. I didn't sit up there and be like, God, why me? Why me? No, I just said, God, what else can I do now? How can I still be of servitude? What else is it that I can do that I can still go ahead and be of a benefit and an asset to people's lives? You know what God did? Brought me to places like here to talk to you.
I think about even when if we do ask why me, because that was my question. The answer is because you're able, because you're capable, because you're going to be a witness. So even the why me has a beautiful picture behind it. I want to get to a comment.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Where did it go? Marty Margaret said, self-love is not for the weak. That is so true, because it takes so much self-reflection. You have to go so within yourself that you are going to see everything that you thought was okay that ain't okay. It's like looking under something with a blue light. And it's like, I know I cleaned this. Why the fuck is this still? It's dirty. This is stained. I cleaned this. I bleached it. I scrubbed it. Why is that stain still there? That's not easy to deal with at all.
Well, the thing is this. I was speaking about this the other night. How I believe it was on Mo's show. Shout out to her. And they were speaking about how you need to know how to go inside yourself. And I'm telling you right now, that will drive some of us off the bridge. Not everybody can handle what's going on inside of them. Not everybody's ready to face themselves. You know, I said it, man. One of the scariest haunted houses you can ever enter is your own vessel within you. At times, I'm telling you. So that's why a lot of people like to stay distracted. That's why you got people, they can never spend like a Friday evening just alone. They gotta go out. They need noise to distract them. They always gotta play music. They always gotta have a TV or something in their face. Because when the power goes out, the main thing that people have the hardest time sitting with is not the darkness, it's themselves and how empty it is and how many things that are there that they never addressed. And then you wonder why it's a lot of little underlying issues that pop up. And from what you know, this was 15, 20 years ago, but you think that blanking it out and just suppressing it and keep going to party and keep going to do everything else is going to get rid of it. And all it's doing inside of you that whole time is doing push-ups. It's just working out. That's all it's doing. It's doing chin-ups. It's doing dips. It's hitting all kind of squats. I'm telling you, it's hitting the leg scissor kicks. It is in that bad boy like a locked up prisoner. And I'm telling you, the moment it's released, it's going to be Debo back on the block. That which festers inside of you. So only thing I'm saying is I'm not telling people don't go inside yourself, but I'm just saying I have seen people who chose to go on that pilgrimage to themselves, and then they took themselves to the pilgrimage in the upper room. But I digress. My mic is muted. I'm not trying to put a damper on that. It's just, you know, it's a lot of people that are very depressed nowadays. People are very lonely. People are very depressed. People got a lot of stuff going on inside of them, and everybody don't know how to handle it.
That is so sad and unfortunate. Outside of that, in addition to what you were saying about people not being able to spend time by themselves and don't know how to deal with the quietness, I question people that talk about people all the time. And I personally know people like this. And I tell them all the time, you messy and you don't want to deal with yourself. So that's why you talk about other people. Why you gotta always be running your mouth about somebody else? As long as I'm talking about you, I can't deal with me. Happy people don't talk about other people and put other people down. You can't nobody convince me otherwise. It not gonna happen. We don't have the time nor the mental capacity when we are operating in love and happy with ourselves to be putting somebody down. What I'm gonna put you down for? If I'm gonna talk about a situation, it is to help you. But to just talk about people all the time, that is madness. And they hate the fact that I've told them that, and I tell them that all the time. So when I used to be around them, because I don't even be around this person anymore, they was always trying to rally up people. And she say I'm messy and da this and da that, trying to get people to disagree. You know good and doggone well you messy. Knock it off. But you messy because you full of mess and you don't want to deal with your own mess. Right. And it's just easier to talk about everybody else. I want to read this comment, and I gotta say his name right because he put it in there. Chupino. So that is the correct pronunciation. Chef Chupino. He says, I feel you, sis. Think about folks that didn't think they could win a specific fight, but were forced to defend themselves and won. That's the feeling you're describing, my sister. Ashe. Yes, indeed. Um, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I swear I didn't know I was gonna make it. I didn't. Y'all not gonna make me emotional on this doggone broadcasting? Oh my gosh! do y'all hear the tone shift? Um, but I did not think I was gonna make it to this state, to this place in my life, to where I'm happy and I love myself and I'm fulfilled and I'm free. Like I said, I broke. And I have died a lot of spiritual deaths. I know exactly what you mean when you say going inside yourself and can't handle it. Cause I was like, It was just, I'm not gonna say it was too much, but it felt like it was too much. When I tell you the worst thing in the world is to feel like you're dead. Oh, am I allowed to say that word? Let me not say that word. It's to feel like you're not here. And if you feel like you're not here, you sure as hell don't want to be because it's too fucking painful. Um, Marty Margaret said, 2023, I dedicated to self love and loving on myself. I was talked about and called selfish when all my life I pleased everyone else. Oh my gosh. So I spoke on that also. Like when you begin to truly love yourself and just abide in the freedom thereof, because people want to minimize you because they don't have the capacity at that time to be free to be themselves, then they will call you selfish and they want you to be a certain kind of way because it makes them more comfortable.
Can I say something to that real quick?
Absolutely.
My father, he was teaching.
Before that, it said it showed me who was for me and who was against me.
Okay. My father, he was telling me, he said, when I was going through my, spells of depression, he would say, you know how you really learn how to love yourself in its full capacity. And I said what he said. Keep on doing what it is that your gifts and talents are, and harness that. He said, reason why, because the more that you do what it is that you're naturally good at, and other people see you're good at it, it's going to give you such a new profound boost of confidence in yourself. And then what you're going to do is you're going to be so asphyxiated on trying to harness that gift and talent point where nothing else is really going to matter. You're not going to be thinking about what you can't do because you're so focused on mastering what it is you know that you're good at. And to land it, the more accomplishments you get in it, the more you see yourself like, dang, I got better at this. Like you're looking at project 1, 2, now you're looking at 4, 5, and 6, and you're like, I'm seeing the progress. I'm seeing this more detail. I'm much more. It's uniformed. It's fitted right, whatever it may be. And I would say that's the best way to start on a basic level to learn to love yourself without nobody having to assist you. Do what you are best at, if you are an artist, cooking, sewing, upholstery, working on cars. I don't know what it is. Whatever your talent is, harness it. And I promise you, you'll keep smiling from that point on. But keep on rocking.
Can I say something real quick? So there was I can't remember what is, so the guy that's on here, what's his name?
You can call me Seven.
Yeah. You said 7?
Yeah, you can call me 7.
Okay. So you had said something earlier that God doesn't give you one more brick than you can handle, right?
Correct.
So I think that we have to be very mindful, because I think sometimes we can have this mindset of I can handle every single thing, and there are some things that God wants us to give over to Him, and because we have this mindset, oh, I can handle it, we don't give it over to Him. And so he wants to take that burden off of us. And so because sometimes we maintain the mindset, well, God doesn't give me more than I can handle. I can do this. I can take care of this. I can handle it. Rather than us giving over to him, we decide to try to take care of it ourselves. And so I feel like we always have to be mindful of whether or not this is something I need to give over to God and allow him to take care of rather than me taking care of it myself. Because I think sometimes we get to where we don't see that this is something that God needs to handle, not me. And we look at it like this is just something I need to go through that I'm having to handle. And that's not necessarily the case. And I think sometimes we don't really see the difference, I guess you could say. So I do think it's very important for people to be mindful that God doesn't want us to be burdened with certain things. And so sometimes we have to just give it over to him and let God handle it rather than trying to do his job for him. So I just wanted to to say that. So
No, I absolutely love that you said that, beloved. And that's why I'm so thankful that God has given me such a strong intuition of discernment. That, see, what it all comes down to, see, that's where discernment comes in. You knowing, see, that's where we have the old saying, pick and choose your battles. That's not just a physical thing. You need to know when to pick and choose your spiritual wars as well. So I'm saying that to say that I absolutely agree with you. Excuse me. There are times where I know I have to go ahead and let God take the wheel. And don't touch the radio. And just enjoy the ride. And then there are times where I know it's time for me to take the wheel. God has shown me enough on how to manage myself on the road. I got it from here. And I go off onto the road with the faith knowing that I was taught by the absolute most perfect best. And then that's where faith comes in. But I don't want to flip it too much on the churchy side. I don't know where we're going. I'm just, speaking more so testimony aspect of it.
We're going wherever spirit leads. I'm always a willing vessel. I'm about their life, so it's all good for me. You never know who may need to hear what and get ministered to at one point at one point in time. Margaret, I want to get to a few more of her glass. See, I'm reading the comment and the word came out. If y'all hear some background, my son is getting me some water so I wouldn't have to get up. So that noise will be gone in a minute. He just cut the water off. After she said it showed me who was for me and who was against me, her next comment was rose-colored glasses removed. That is such a powerful statement. Gosh, what can I say to that? There's clarity. Just seeing clearly. So Ashe. Miss Oshun Possible saluted everybody. Salute to you, darling. Hopefully you're still here. Thank you for joining. If you would like to come up, please feel free. I would love to say hello in person and meet you. Margaret also said, and when I saw this on the screen, it touched my heart chakra a lot. She said, congratulations on being broken and transformed. You made it. Ashe. Whew. There was work still to be done, of course. My main goal, my number one goal in life has always to be, or has always been to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. And nothing is more important to me than that. And I'm very diligent about that. So I'm always doing inner work and just making sure I'm growing and I'm elevating and I'm just being the best me. There's no other way to put it. I want to continue to love myself, and I don't think I'll be able to continue to love myself properly if I'm not always working towards being the best version of myself, and that's really important to me. I didn't get a chance to thank First Lady Tammy for her comment that she was talking about knowing the difference of when to turn something over to God and when not to. I also like what Seven said because I was thinking the exact same thing. Him and I don't know if y'all remember, for the people that when I was coming around and visiting panels a lot, uh, we tend to say the same thing all the time. So we got this kindred consciousness, as I would call it, and this level of wisdom and insight that kind of operates on the same frequency. But I was thinking the exact same thing. Discernment will let you know, hey, this ain't for me. I gotta turn this loose because I can't do nothing with it. And let that be that. TMKC 181 said, hey, y'all. Hey, what's happening? The intellectual soapbox shouted out Miss Oshun Possible, talking about salute to my big head sister. He in the chat being funny. We have been going for a while. Does anybody else want to come up before we get ready and close this thing out? We initially started talking about, and I think we still are pretty much dealing with self-love, keeping your peace, which to me is a form of self-love and loving yourself properly. Final thoughts, words of wisdom, things of that nature before we head on up out of here.
Ladies first. I'll go last. If she's there.
Oh, I'm here. No, sorry. So I wanted to say, like I, I had my poem about protecting your peace. We just have to be mindful that, because for me, so I'm a teacher. Every time I always talk about teaching, that's my thing. I love teaching. And so work for me is my happy place. When I say I love teaching, there's not one thing I dislike about teaching. I like everything that people complain about when it comes to teaching. And so I feel like one of the things that you have to do, like someone was saying, if there's something that you love, something that you enjoy doing, definitely be able to discover what that is. Because a lot of times people are working at a job that they just are there because they have bills to pay, not necessarily that they love what they do. And when you love what you do, even if it's not a job, just if you are doing something that you enjoy doing, it's such a pleasurable experience. And so really being able to find that and harness that is such a significant thing. And then also when it comes to being able to be there for others, be mindful that you can get joy out of being there for others, but also be mindful that you're doing it for the joy and the love of it, but also keep in the front of your mind that not everybody is that way. And I think sometimes we don't necessarily see that when we get joy out of certain things. We also have to make sure that our mind is completely open to the reality rather than just having tunnel vision about certain things. And so I say it because I speak from experience as far as I've been that person that was just very, whatever it is that you need, you can call me if there's something that you need. And I was constantly checking on people to make sure that they were okay and all these different things. And I truly got joy out of being able to be somebody who was there for others and doing for others. And so when it's a time where you need those things, it's not a guarantee that the people are going to be able to give you those things. So just be mindful of that, and continue to do those things that you enjoy doing, and let it be for the reason that you just enjoy doing it, and that's it, and that's all. Um, so just in a nutshell, do what you love to do, because you can find true love and joy in just that.
I say thank you, First Lady. I appreciate you, darling. You mentioned something, and I'm actually gonna give my final thoughts last. But you mentioned something that reminded me that I wanted to say to Seven. He has spoke about a few times loving yourself, and part of being at peace is finding your passion, and you reiterated it just now also, and what you're good at, and honing in on it and cultivating that thing. And I felt like there was a message specifically for me. And so I'm very, very thankful for that message being iterated so many times in this broadcast. What I find really, really interesting specifically about that message is that particular thing that I'm happy with doing my gifts, because I am also a poet. I'm a writer. I'm a erotic entertainer. I'm a sensualist, and I'm a sensual energist, and all of these different things. Those were the things that I, before I began to love myself and accept myself completely, I hid. And I was always teased and ridiculed for having the sensual energy that I have, and just being a free spirited being. And so that is one of those things to where it's like I wasn't comfortable with, and I wasn't loving myself completely, because it's really frowned upon. But as you said, the more because I do sensual erotic interactive spoken word showcases, and my goal is not to entertain when I do these showcases. People, of course, are going to naturally be entertained because some people just like that kind of thing. But my ultimate goal is, because I am an ethereal spoken word artist, is to motivate and inspire people to have a deeper level of an intimate connection when it comes to sensuality and sexuality. We'll talk about that on a whole nother broadcast. I'm excited about getting to the sensual eccentricness on the Sensual Eccentric podcast. But that's one of those things to where I really, really, I thrive at. I know that's who I am to my core. I identify as a love goddess. And so that's who I am at my core. I just exude love, sensuality, and erotic energy. A whole nother story. But I did want to thank you for bringing it up, and the message that came across to keep going. And just like you said, the more that the more shows that I do, I'm not gonna say I become more of myself, but it's just like it shows people that this is really who I am, and I'm not going to stop being me. It's just, this is me, and I love all of me.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you still gonna have a group of people who are going to swear up and down right now you are AI. All right, so just it's vicious. And you know, the more authentic you are, the more it's like, yeah, I'm telling you, nah, that gotta be AI. And it's like, something's really wrong with y'all. Something's really wrong. No, I was just throwing in
I
that joke.
can't even touch that. That is hilarious to me. But we have somebody that joined. Chef Shapino has joined. Who else? Oh, these words are really, really small and I can't see. One other person, I think is Marty Margaret. Yes, because I noticed her profile. She has joined you. Thank you for coming up. We are in our final thoughts right now. Before final thoughts, if you want to say something else, you can, since you're just now coming up. But thank you for joining. I appreciate you so much. First Lady Tammy, thank you so much for your final thoughts. I appreciate you so very much. We are going to hear from, I think Chef Shapino came up before Marty Margaret did. So let's hear it from Chef.
I think you might be on mute. Not sure.
Hello.
There you go.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Hello, I'm Chef Shapino, and I want to send a special shout out to my boy, Mr. Best, from the panel, one of my friends for about 6 years now. And I want to send a shout out to my sister who's the host today, as well as everybody in the chat and everybody else on the panel. So, pretty much, I have to say this. Definitely sincerely appreciate the conversation. Doesn't matter how many people are in the room, but the directness of the conversation is evergreen. All right. So in terms of the little stuff that I was putting into the chat, I talked about, how I felt about one of the issues that you discussed. And one of the things that hit me the most was about the peace. Peace, self-peace, self-healing, self-energy, self-love. All of those things point directly to us, okay, within us, but they don't speak on the ecosystem. In terms of having self-love, I believe that having self-love, it's a balanced effect. It's a couple of different plates spinning. One is maintaining your personal peace, understanding what your hang-ups are, understanding what, your issues are, the things you love and all of that. But then the ecosystem, that's different. The ecosystem is furniture. So your self-love, okay, and your self-perspective when you go within yourself, that's you as a person. Everybody else within the universe, they are furniture. So if I bang my knee on the couch 5 times, right, am I going to sit and get pissed off and expect the couch to put itself in a different, part of the living room? No. I'm going to move and acquiesce to the position of that immovable object, and I'm going to go around it because I recognize part of my personal peace is my knee not hurting when I bang it into the edge of a couch. So I'm going to move around it. So self-love is not just you understanding what you need. Self-love is understanding the environment you exist in. And how much you love yourself is not just about what you expect from that ecosystem to give you, but how you love yourself is really on you and how you choose to navigate that system so you ignore, so that you don't have to deal with the hurt, right? Part of that navigation is not telling the ecosystem, aka the furniture in your universe, what you like. No, part of it is silence. Silence. You recognizing who those people are in your universe, who those people are in your ecosystem, their weaknesses, their strengths, and how they mesh and, interpolate within the way that you move in your own life, right? That's real self-love to me. Self-love does not involve just yourself, because yourself does not exist within a vacuum or molecule. It exists within a universe, which means that in order for you to have true self-love, it's not just knowing what you want, but it's knowing how you can get what you want within this myriad of mazes and weird personalities and all of these things. So if we truly understand self-love, if you love yourself, you're going to know that if you're born in the ocean, your ass got to swim. If you in the hood, you got to keep your head on the swivel. If you in the freezer, you need a coat. You understand what I'm saying? So self-love, yes, it starts with that essence of loving yourself, but it also exists within you. If you really love yourself, you're going to learn your environment so that yourself will be solid. Is that making sense?
Yeah. I just wanted to briefly just so the sister right here can get in. When you were saying banging your knee, the example I always like to use is if you bang your knee one time, that's an accident. You bang your knee a second time, it could be just it slipped your mind, you were forgetful. 3, 4, 5, and beyond has now become a decision. I digress. My mic is muted.
Oh, you cooked with that one, because that's the key. They say that thing, people always say that statement about, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That thing, and it's not really, it wasn't Einstein that said it, it was somebody else, but we ain't going to talk about that. But it's the truth. I mean, let's think about it. How many times do we have to bang our knees on that proverbial couch in order to understand the crib that we live in? There's people that sleepwalk, and they sleepwalk, and they might have a house with two floors, and somebody may sleepwalk and walk all the way down the stairs, get to the kitchen, walk in circles, and go back upstairs and never trip over a couch. Right?
So let me say this. I'm so glad that you brought that up, because when he said continuing to bump your knee is a decision, and what came to me is not being self-aware. When we are not aware and we are not paying attention, we're going to keep doing the same things over and over. I mentioned this earlier in the broadcasting, and what you just said about doing the same thing over and over as insanity. I said, and I'm not going to say, and I quote, but I mentioned one of the ways that we can tell that we are not loving ourselves properly, a sign of a lack of self-love, is when there is an issue and the issue keeps arising and we haven't done anything to solve the issue. And I specifically brought up women that complain about relationships and the wrong partners, and they're this and they're that and yada, 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 yada. But it's like, what are you doing? There is an issue. You're study picking the bad boy, or you're study picking the liar, or you're study choosing the cheater, or you're study choosing someone that doesn't respect you. When does it become about you instead of them? What is it about you? What are you lacking that you're steady choosing those people? So I wanted to, I thought that was really, really good. The intellectual soapbox says, Seth Shapino makes me want to come up, but I gotta be disciplined. Ain't no LOL behind that. If you want to come up, you come up.
That's my bro.
He want to be in the background so bad. He like, no, I'm
he's my
chilling, I'm
YouTube
the
day one,
and that's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah, he's my YouTube day one, my sister. So I can't even lie.
Was that your final thought, Chef Shapino?
Oh no, I'm a long-winded dude with a lot of thoughts. So I got a whole bunch, but I'm gonna acquiesce to the to the channel I'm on right now.
I done put my sweatshirt on. I turned my heater off, my thermostat off, because it makes a lot of background noise. And here I live in Chicago, and in Chicago we have been having temperatures that's
Wait,
below zero.
real Chicago, or you in Naperville or Aurora or something like
No,
that?
I am on the west side of Chicago, honey. Like,
Okay.
no, I'm not in the suburbs. I'm Shy City for real, for real.
All right. All right.
Born and raised, west side.
Cook County.
That part.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah,
nobody
you
know
got
nothing
it.
about Madison and Madison and not Madison and Western. Damn about the not the street. I grew up close to Madison and Holman.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, see, I'm about to go back down memory lane. But your final thoughts, and then we are going to go to Sister Marty Margaret.
All right. Can you hear me?
Sure enough.
All right. Perfect.
Can't hear you now. You went out.
I was gonna say that was deep. That was deep what he just said.
Can you hear me now?
Now you're back on.
All right. Personal peace. Personal peace is not something that's a communal agreement. Okay. Personal peace, it's a multifaceted movement. One is understanding what you want, what you love, what you don't like, and what you hate. Right? That's one. And that only involves you. Nobody else cares, not even your kids. No disrespect. Okay. The kids only care when it impacts them because your mood impacts them. But all of those things, self-healing, self-peace, and all of that, what that is your subjective understanding of your feelings for the ecosystem, for the world or the ocean that you swim in. The thing is, in order to really, really allow yourself to gain that peace, some of it involves silence. And I don't mean, I'm not telling you shut up. No, silence is the equivalent of you licking your fingertip, your index finger, stick it in up in the air, and so you can see which way the wind is blowing. You get me? So what I say to you is that part of it involves more listening. People that are their bird style is dove. The people that have the most, your friends that are the most sensitive, pay close attention. When stuff is going down, they shut the hell up and they watch and they listen because they understand their degrees of sensitivity. And I believe that all of us have to understand, yes, what we love, how we love, what we hate, how we hate. We understand that, but then we also understand we exist in a universe with billions and billions of people. So we have to shut the hell up sometimes so we can understand who are the people that we allow into our circle, aka the furniture that we allow into our living room. You catch what I'm saying? So once it comes to self-love, we keep talking about self-love, self-love, self-love. The first word in that is self. So we got nothing to do with the world and the furniture in our universe. It's us understanding ourselves, understanding how that universe exists, and then us figuring out a way to align those planets or navigate around those planets to get to where we want and to achieve, happiness, But I know I'm a long-winded dude. I wasn't planning to do any kind of YouTube stuff tonight, but my boy was up, and my sisters and my bro were cooking tonight, so I had to come in and jump in. So I appreciate y'all.
Respect to you, black man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chef Shapino. I appreciate you, darling. We are going to hear from Marty Margaret. How you doing, darling?
Hey y'all, can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, first shout out to the panel tonight. I'm so glad I came in here. I needed to be in this room because I needed all what y'all was giving and pouring out. So I thank each and every one of y'all for that, first of all. I just wanted to share an affirmation I wrote in 2018. It's very short. And also it's a song by Jason Lyrics. And he's singing with someone else. It's Jayson. So I'm gonna sing a little snippet of that. And that's my final thought. And I'm just going, be quiet from there. um, hey you. God made no mistake with you. You are made in his image, a beautiful sight to see. Take a look in the mirror and love the beauty that stands before you. Focus on your strength. Set boundaries. Find joy in being alive and well. And know your best is more than enough. I don't mean to be stubborn, but I can use some self-loving. I ain't gotta say nothing. You already know how I'm coming. I've been working on me. I've been loving on me. I had to learn to love myself. I don't mind no help. I had to do it for myself. I don't mind no help. I had to do it for myself. I had to focus on me. I had to love on me. I had to learn to love myself. And that's just a reminder to love on yourself each and every day. And that's it. Thank you.
Ashe, thank you so much, sis.
Nice voice.
I want to take a moment to just let that penetrate us for a moment. Because I feel that it was something very, very significant and powerful about that. Sis, if you don't mind, can you read the affirmation one more time, please? If you don't mind. And if she agrees to read the affirmation, I would like for us to just take a deep breath. Think about the things that we need to work on, how we working on ourselves. And in the midst of even working on those things, how we have to still implement patience, understanding, compassion, and grace to love ourselves properly, even in the midst of working on ourselves. Thank you, sis.
Hey, you. God made no mistake with you. You are made in his image, a beautiful sight to see. Take a look in the mirror and love the beauty that stands before you. Focus on your strength. Set boundaries. Find joy in being alive and well and know your best is more than the self. Um, and that was an affirmation that I wrote. It was something I needed, and I wrote it as an affirmation, and that I sometimes share before I start any of my poetry pieces to ground myself and also to pour out into others.
Ashe, we got a lot of poets in the house. Chef Shapino put in the chat, if my peace can be stolen by another's behavior, opinion, or chaos, then what I had was comfort, not peace. True peace is internally governed. It does not demand silence from others nor permission. Ashe. Now, Mr. Best has decided to join us. Oh my gosh. Aren't we so honored?
Yeah, and I know how to trigger him. I know how to trigger him, my sister. I know this guy over 6 years now. I know how to get under here.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
thank you for the trigger response. I appreciate it.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm a vessel of my system.
Oh my god. Yeah, we've been doing this for a minute. OG, we have, man. We have, man. Brooklyn stand up. You already know.
You already
Ooh,
know.
Man. And Smitty, if you know the link is the I try to put the StreamYard link in your chat for people to come up, but I don't know if it registered. But yeah, I try to do that. But yeah, it is there. So man, thank y'all for coming through, man. Salute to my brother, man. M3, what's going on, baby? I see you up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, MD.
Yeah, man. He up in the building, you know what I'm saying? Maybe may come through and grace us with his with his presence or whatever. Feel me? So but yeah, man, salute to my sister, Galaxy Venus. You know what I mean? Her just having this great show. Thank y'all for coming up here and giving us love and showing us you know what I mean, love and her showing her love to us. Um, she definitely took our time to give us this and give us, her heart, give us her mind, give us her soul, her spirit, give us her everything in this moment. And we are appreciative of that. We're appreciative of her. We love her. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. I don't really want to, you know what I mean? I don't really want to take, I don't really want to shoot tonight. I'm gonna chill. I really want my sister to really, you know what I mean, just get her shine on. I just wanted to come up and say what's up to everybody. What's up to Smitty, Marty Margaret. Hopefully I'm saying it right. First Lady Tammy, Chef, you already
What's
know.
going on?
You
Listen
know what I
here.
mean?
All I'm gonna
Yeah,
say this.
man.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, my G.
Yes, sir.
This one right here, and the sister that you have up there. I'm not no young spring chicken. Okay, and we get that. But what I'm saying is that the sister that you got up here, and the level of respect that she delivered. And yes, ma'am, I am speaking about you like you are not here. All right, but you're gonna have to handle your own self piece and deal with that, right? But I'm gonna tell you, yo, bro, this is a real one. The degree of conversation, the degree of articulation, the degree of respect that she has as a content creator, bro, lock this sister in. You know what I mean? Ashe. All right. Lock her in because you know me and you know me for a long time. And I've been on so many different platforms and my own platform and all of that stuff. And I sometimes sit in the trees and don't say anything. But
Mm.
whatever you did, I'm gonna let you allow yourself to have that self-love for a good decision. You see what I did there? But yo, this sister is a real one. This sister, she pulled me out. Look, she pulled me out the woods, bro. And I'm here, talking stuff. Not cammed up, but if I know that she's gonna be doing this again, I might actually cam up, hit my little shape up, throw a little Beijing on. I'm just, but yo, I appreciate what y'all did for my Wednesday night. And I appreciate that. So thank you. Thank you for your wisdom in terms of selection. And I thank my sister for whatever she did within her life to be able to be smart enough to navigate all of this, to be able to be at this point in her life and provide these messages to the folks that need it. So I'm here for it. Thank you. And I'm going to shut up now.
Absolutely, I got to do a shameless plug. Yes, my sister Galaxy Venus will be here every Wednesday for the Sensual Eccentric podcast. Okay, you know what I mean, and she'll be representing 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sometimes we may start maybe at 7, just depending on our week or just where we're at. We're human. Sometimes we may start a little bit later. Y'all know what it is. Um, you know what I mean. So, you know what I mean. Just bear with us, but we will be on. You know what I mean? During that time, you know what I mean? 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time for my West Coast people. All right, my East Coast people, that's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come through and check us out. Okay? And we'll be here live and direct. You know what I mean? Cisco, you can take it away. And thank you for all your kind words, Chef. I love you, brother. Salute to Mo Love. Let's go, Mo. Mo will be going live later on this evening. But yes, Sis, go ahead.
My heart chakra is so full of gratitude right now. I talked a little bit earlier about those of us that are big softies. And I happen to be a very, very sentimental person. I am a big softie. So not trying to be too much of a big baby, but gratitude to Chef Shapino for seeing me. I do not take that lightly. Um, it takes a lot of insight to be able to see. Um, and I could be on some hood shit and be like real recognized, real like that's the longest since I'm crying. But oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude. I do not take you seeing me lightly. So Brother, the sister, the man, the woman. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to read a few comments. Mo Love hopped in the chat. KAR hopped in the chat, said, "Hey everyone." Mo Love said, "Hey everyone." Um, Mo Love reminded everybody to hit the like button. Absolutely. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you so much. My final thoughts. Oh my gosh. In regards to self-love. First of all, do it. Real talk. Do that shit. If you are not doing it right now, start doing it. Learn what it is. Do it and don't stop. Spirit is not giving me anything else to say.
Hello? Can't hear you.
Yes. Spirit is not giving me anything else to say. But do it. Don't stop. Love doing it and do it with all your might. That's all I got. Spirit just boom. There it is right there. I am Galaxy Venus. Your host of the Sensual, Eccentric podcast. As Mr. Best in the World, my engineer, said, we will be here every Wednesday, at least. Sometimes I may do twice a week. But we're going to talk about a variety of things here. I am a very versatile, multifaceted, multidimensional being. And so there's just so much to cover and talk about as far as life experiences, people, change, growth, elevation, sensuality, relationships, self-worth, anything that we can think about. If you guys have anything that you would like for me to share or talk about, let me know. And if I have the wisdom to share those things, because I don't talk about nothing I don't know about. That believe that. So if I have the wisdom to speak on it, then we'll definitely bring that topic to the platform. You guys can join me at least every Wednesday, as my engineer said, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, sometimes at 7, if things doesn't go accordingly. And if y'all want to hear, yes.
Sis, I am respectfully interrupting you. I dropped something in the chat, and I only dropped it because I believe by some weird universal thing, you and I may be kindred spirits within a particular alignment of thought. So I shared something with you. Take that. I want to make sure you take that with you before my phone dies in the pot, because I'm at 8%. So, I want you to take that with you, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody that's here before this thing cuts off. But thank you. All right, you pulled me out the woods, my sis.
I'm the last of the Mohicans. This is the final thought, because I had to plug my phone up at 7%, and with it plugged up, it's on 9 right now, and I do not be on my phone while it's plugged up. But we are closing out. My final thought was to love yourself wholly and completely. If you are not doing that now, learn to do it and don't stop. Being that I am a love goddess, I do accept all form of love. If y'all want to bless me, anything is helpful and appreciated. $1, $20, $2. I am going to put my Cash App up, and I want to see you guys again. It has been such a wonderful experience chatting with you guys. Thank you to everybody that was here. Is First Lady Tammy still here? Thank you to her. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, First Lady. I appreciate you so much, and your godly insight. 7, I appreciate him for coming through. I have not seen him in quite some time. I seen Chocolate Earth in the chat. Thank you to her. Thank you for Chef Chupino. Chupino. My bad, bro. Chef Chupino. He about to be one of my besties. He already. Yeah. Okay. Miss, let me get it right. Who else do we have here? Marty Margaret. Yes, love. I appreciate you, darling. There is one more comment I want to read real quick. No, I think I got them all. Okay, cool. So I am going to read Chef Chupino's comment, and then I was once believed prioritizing others was virtue, even when it cost me my center. In doing so, I was unintentionally oblivious to the absence forming within myself. Oh, there is so much to say there. If you want to message me so we can stay connected, if you would like to, off of the broadcasting and things of that nature. But I am Galaxy Venus, yours truly, the sensual, eccentric, erotic goddess and life coach. I'm a licensed life coach, you guys. And I'm gonna be honest, I hate the fact that I'm licensed because I've always been a life coach. I just got licensed because people be needing validation. I don't need that because my gift is my gift, period. But I just so happen to be licensed. With that saying, one love, much love, all the time. I will see y'all on the screen really soon. Love yourself totally and completely and do not stop. Smooches. Bye.
When it's obvious that we both care, so take me to the moon. I wanna be with the stars. Send me into orbit. Oh, send me into orbit.